Welcome to the Heidi Thorne Show. I'm your host, Heidi Thorne, and in this podcast I share my real-world self-publishing and small business experience with you. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to like, comment, share, follow, and subscribe. Now let's get on with today's show. One of my most popular episodes of the show has been the one that I did on self-publishing custom card decks, and that would be custom tarot decks, oracle cards, motivational and inspirational decks, such as Thought of the Day, maybe education or reference cards. And on that episode, I received a comment from a creator who said that he would like me to do a video about selling a card deck on Etsy because he was having a lot of challenges doing that. So let's dig into the topic of selling, not just creating and publishing card decks. I'm also going to be including some discussion of journals since they have a very similar market. Let's make one thing perfectly clear. Creating a custom card deck or journal is easy. Selling it is not. With the advent of print on demand, self-publishing a card deck, workbook, or journal has become easier than ever before. True, card decks still present many printing and production problems. However, today printing services are available that will produce as few as 10, maybe a dozen decks or less for a very reasonable price. While the challenges of producing your deck may seem overwhelming, those challenges pale in comparison to the amount of effort and investment it will take to actually sell these products. Here's something else we need to get perfectly clear. Creator selling sites don't help you make sales. I don't care what platform you've chosen to sell your deck or your journal, Etsy, eBay, Amazon, Handmade by Amazon, Printful, Shopify, Printify, Patreon, Redbubble, whatever. None of them will intentionally drive traffic to your sales pages or listings. Buyers discover your wares only through the grace of the almighty robot algorithms that power these sites. Can you encourage the robots to send buyers to you? No. Except for making sure that you post your product listings on sites that are relevant to your ideal buyers, and you include keywords and phrases that are likely to be entered in search. Realize too that these algorithms and AI are getting better and better and more sophisticated all the time, only showing content and listings that match the buyer's intent and interest, regardless of what you or your buyers type into the site. To even hope to rig these algorithms to favor your offerings is a game you cannot win, since these algorithms are very complex and they are constantly changing, sometimes even daily. Fed up with not being able to control the way these sites operate, some creators discontinue using them. They question why they should give these sites a cut of their revenues if the site isn't going to help them make sales. All the creators see is their little corner of the site, and they think, I could do this by myself. Technically, you could take over the actual sales operations for yourself. It's not that difficult these days to set up an e-commerce plugin on your website, but that opens up a whole host of administrative costs and taxing issues, both the money taxes like sales and income taxes and mental and emotional taxation. Never run a business before? Please, for the sake of your finances and sanity, don't do it without the advice of a CPA and business attorney. Oh, you don't have either one of those in your life? You're already in trouble. Right now, I want you to go to Google Analytics and see how many visitors came to your own website in the past month. Don't have a website and you're just on social media? That's okay. Look at the number of people that checked out your profile pages or clicked your LinkedIn bio and add those up. Now multiply that total number by 1%. That should give you an idea of how many sales you can expect to make a month. Let me give you a tissue so you can cry it out. Why do I say 1%? Well, I've been self-publishing on Amazon for a decade. So I've watched my own sales over time, as well as monitored what has been going on in the self-publishing industry. I also had a decades-long career in sales and advertising. If I got 2% response on a marketing campaign, not sales, just leads, it was a good result. Also, with online advertising, you're doing good if you get a 2% click-through rate on your online ads. Again, this is not sales, just interested people clicking through. So even a 1% estimate of sales from your followers could be optimistic. Big creator selling platforms have one big thing you don't: web traffic. Lots and lots of web traffic. That increases the chances of you making some sales instead of the paltry to zero sales you might get by not being on them. Advertising to generate traffic to a lone personal website like your own is going to be super expensive. And part of that is due to random traffic from your advertising or whatever marketing you're doing. And it's loaded with what I call looky-loos who are just surfing. The good news is that these sites such as eBay and Etsy do offer creators analytical tools that help you understand the web traffic that is visiting your listings and profile. eBay just transitioned sellers to a comprehensive seller interface and direct payment system. I've found the analytics on this new interface and even the free seller programs, because they do have upgrades available, they're really insightful. The only site that continues to be a black box for authors and creators is Amazon and Kindle Direct Publishing. The new KDP Reports beta is much easier to read than before for any journals or workbooks you're doing, but no traffic analysis is available. They do give you traffic analysis if you run paid Amazon advertising, but even that's just limited to analytics of clicks generated within the Amazon universe, not external traffic that lands on your product pages. The customer journey is still a mystery for creators, even though Amazon surely knows. Pricing is another area where creators and authors get in trouble. They usually don't start thinking about pricing until after they're emotionally invested in the project and are desperate to make it work. The time to think about pricing is before you even start the project. Frustrated by low sales, creators may lower their prices in a panicked effort to generate sales. This is a losing strategy since you may not cover your costs and you may end up even paying to make sales. Never, ever believe that making a high sales volume will make up for underpricing. As discussed a little bit ago, high sales volume is a very difficult feat. You need to know your cost to produce, your cost to run your business, your investment in product development, and competitors' prices before you can choose a price. Do a sales projection for your card deck or journal, initially with a conservative sales forecast of maybe 1 to 2% of your total website visitors or followers on social media who will become buyers. Then do a profit and loss projection that deducts production and printing costs as well as overhead administrative costs such as advertising, website fees, telephone, all those other things that go into running a business. And you're going to deduct that from your projected sales. Run these numbers with various product prices to find an ideal target price. Then compare that ideal price result to competitors' prices. Is yours way too high? It probably is. So you're going to have to cut your production costs or your profit expectations, or both. What about promoted listings? I sell my self-published books on Amazon. I have run ads on Amazon for several years, which historically helped me make some additional sales. Not a lot, but some. Lately, though, my Amazon ads have been seriously underperforming. Watching the evolution of the Amazon advertising juggernaut, it's easy to understand why this has happened. Competition for advertising on Amazon is fierce. But I'm not going to make the mistake of overpaying for ads just to win the ad bids while I'm losing sales and profits. So if I can profitably continue to run ads on Amazon, I will. Otherwise, I'll drop it. I've already turned off or revised some campaigns in responses to this changing performance level. On sites like eBay and Etsy, promoted listings are also offered. From a scan of an eBay community discussion thread on the topic, sellers didn't seem to be experiencing dramatically increased sales from promoted listings, though some have had some positive experiences. One theme I did see on these discussion threads was that making sure your listing has the right keywords and description can help push your listings higher in search results, regardless of whether you pay for promoted listings or not. And this applies to almost any creator selling platform. So would I self-publish a custom card deck? Probably not. And the only reason being is that for all the reasons listed, I don't see how I could do it profitably. I have self-published a journal. I've also done the 101 business writing prompts, but this is more of a journal looking questions, 31 questions that can change your business and your life. And I've had really challenging sales with this book, even though it's good content and I've gotten a lot of good comments from people who have purchased it or read it, and they found it very helpful. And it's a perfect candidate for a card deck. I could do 30 to 36 cards or whatever I could get at a really good price. But because one, I've had challenges selling it as a journal, and because I don't see how I could do it profitably, you won't be seeing this card deck for a while. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, please rate, review, and subscribe to the Heidi Thorne Show on whatever podcast platform you like to use. I'm on all the major ones: Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. Pick your favorite, I'm probably there. If you like the YouTube video better, you just have to subscribe to my Heidi Thorne YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so you get an alert when there's a new video up. I would appreciate it if you would share the audio or the video with your friends on social media. My self-published books, just books, are on Amazon, Audible, and Apple Books. All you have to do on any one of those sites is type in my name, Heidi Thorne, and my author page will come up and a listing of all the available titles will come up. If you'd like to connect with me, my website is HeidiThorne.com, and you can connect with me on social at Instagram or TikTok at Heidi Thorne. Thank you so much for listening and for your support. I'll look forward to talking with you again in the next episode. In the meantime, have a great day.